Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Field of Streams, where I, your host, Janine McRae, that's me, bring you the tiny thoughts that stream from my brain and present them to you as though they're the perfect comeback to a jerk comment someone just made about you and to you. Witty retort. Now, I can't promise you much with these missives. I say that every week, but I can promise you this. I won't keep you long. Truth. Although I guess that depends on your definition of long. Whatever, let's not get bogged down before we've even begun. If you like what you hear today, listener, please feel free to share it with a friend. But for now, let's get into it with a bit of a setup before I read the thing I wrote to you, and with great enthusiasm. Dear listener, I don't know about you, but I love scientists. And as soon as I saw the story about a research paper on teaspoons going missing in an office environment, I knew I wanted to write something about it. The study, conducted by some curious researchers from the Centre of Epidemiology and Population Health Research in Melbourne, set out to determine the overall rate of loss of workspace teaspoons and if the displacement had some sort of correlation with the type of teaspoon and the kind of tea room it was in. This is important work, people. This is science. Now, if you want to dig into the results of this study and the findings, there's actually a behind-the-scenes video post that I made about this episode, so just go watch that. I give you all the skinny on it. I'll put the link in the description. But high level, because who has time to watch videos, they planted, I'm making air quotes here, they planted 70 teaspoons in tea rooms and over the next 5 months observed their movement. 140 people worked there, and over the course of those 5 months, 56 of the 70 teaspoons absolutely legged it out of there. That's high-level data. Again, I did the full results in the video. Go watch that. So how did this study inspire me? Well, I got to thinking about what the teaspoon represents on a metaphorical level, and how your soul could be the equivalent of an open teaspoon drawer. With your drawer open, people are free to take a teaspoon when they need it. Teaspoons in this case representing things like empathy, compassion, forgiveness, general help, just that kind of stuff. This episode digs into teaspoons, again, air quotes, and how open or closed your drawer should be. Should we get upset about the teaspoons disappearing? Should we be saving them for ourselves? Or should we give freely of our teaspoons? Take a listen and let me say, may you live your life in a constant state of losing the spoons of your compassion, empathy and love to those who need it more. Lose a spoon, take a spoon. It all works out in the end. So now, I invite you to sit back, relax, and allow me to read to you today's episode, The Teaspoon Drawer of the Soul. The cutlery drawer of my soul is always open. The number one item in this drawer is teaspoons. Yes, teaspoons. Please, take one. No, you don't have to bring it back. It is an open soul drawer, brimming with the plentiful bounty of one of the most useful and sought-after implements in the universe, the common teaspoon. This teaspoon is empathy. Please take it. This one, understanding. You can have that too. I listen to the sound of an array of teaspoons tinging peacefully together as hands reach in to seek. 1 teaspoon of sugar in your cup to sweeten your life, to add comfort and quietude. 1 teaspoon to stir the hot and steaming liquid of sadness and doubt until it dissolves away. Here's one that'll help dig a lost soul from a perceived cell of depression or panic. This one here? Well, that's a listening teaspoon. I am listening. I am saying nothing as you let it all out, as you get it all out, as the teaspoon sets you free. Seriously, take one. I'm not even looking. In a 2004 scientific study monitoring the case of the disappearing teaspoons, results showed that over a 5-month period in an office tea room setting, 80% of the teaspoons provided had evaporated. vanished into thin air. It concluded that the nature of communal teaspoons was to be in a constant state of disappearing, of wandering off, of providing service in other rooms, on desks, and sometimes many miles away in employees' houses. At the end of the study, a figure was calculated of what it would cost to keep the supply of teaspoons at a level deemed constant, so that no person would ever open a drawer, curse the sky, and end up stirring their coffee with a fork. For bean counters, this is the kind of study that makes their ledgers tingle. A soul cutlery drawer, filled with teaspoons of compassion, empathy, understanding, and more, was not part of the study. There is no need to calculate the cost of keeping the teaspoon level high in a soul cutlery drawer because it costs you nothing. It is a self-replenishing drawer. You fill it with your humanity. The folks in accounting, those keeping score, like your ego or jealousy or sense of entitlement or whatever, will chastise you for losing teaspoons, but all you need to know is that the cost/no cost is relative to your belief in the circular movement of consequence. Some folks call this karma. I call it teaspoon math. Teaspoon math does not mean you will not feel the cost of your drawer emptying. It does not mean that the depletion of your emotional currency is not flashing up on your register. The drawer may fill with your humanity, and that's all well and good in theory, but you are also human, and humans keep receipts. Being human is hard, what with the receipts and balance of good and evil within us and all that guff. It is challenging, a constant battle over, let's say, teaspoons. It's in our nature to hold on to spoons, to hoard them, keep them shiny and plentiful so that we survive, defeating all others with our abundant excess of teaspoons while they have none. It is our nature to want to survive, evolutionary. But where is it written for us to survive someone else must suffer? That we must deny the hand, ferreting around in our soul drawer for a listening or compassion or empathy spoon, that we must deny them. Our worry is always that the time will come when we will need to stir our own sadness or fill ourselves with sweet sugar, and when we come to do that, we will open our soul drawer and find it empty. That is the fear. That is the empty drawer syndrome. To have, says the syndrome, someone else must have not. No spoons for you. Wake up, good people. There are plenty of spoons for everyone. I'm not entirely sure how it happens, how teaspoon math works, but I think the soul drawer is replenished in two primary ways. First, we can bolster our collection by borrowing teaspoons from those who also leave their drawers open. This is when we ourselves need an ear, empathy, or understanding from others. These are teaspoons given willingly and with love. It is a permanent loan, but one that can also be paid forward in the future by leaving our drawer open. This is simply the free exchange of the teaspoon economy. Tiny spoons flow freely in all directions. There are no transactions occurring. It just happens, as easily as breathing. Humans again. We are in this together. In this teaspoon economy, you must never assume that an influx of replacement teaspoons provided from external sources will keep your stock constant. Assume no influx will be forthcoming. Assume that there will always be an up and down, and that sometimes the stock will be high and sometimes quite low. This is just the way it runs. The market at work. Similarly, you should not automatically expect the same teaspoon to come back to you simply because you left a drawer open and it was there for the taking. Expectation is a mug's game, and while, yes, we are dealing in mugs and teacups, the wound you feel when a teaspoon vanishes from your drawer, never to be seen again, is the wound of recognition. It reminds us of the constant work of being human. Teaspoons flow in and out of drawers in communities and towns and cities and countries and across hemispheres and find their way to people desperately looking for one. Let the teaspoons flow. Do not track. Do not monitor. Do not keep score. To expect a reward of tit-for-tat teaspoons is like water swirling in that cup, looking for a drain. It can be draining. Don't get drained. But so many people are taking my teaspoons and not bringing them back. At certain times in history, people need more teaspoons. They just do. We are in one of those times. Do not question why. Do not lament your loss of teaspoons. Look to your heart. Your heart is the designated restocking agent. It has the master key to the supply closet. Hearts. Is there anything hearts can't do? That is the second method of teaspoon replenishment. Know that your heart will easily and willingly provide, filling your soul cutlery drawer with a constant supply of shiny, handy, wonderful teaspoons of love, honesty, understanding, and whatever else someone needs a teaspoon for. Availability, openness, all the good teaspoons. Because teaspoons do a lot of things. For being so petite, they are incredibly powerful. One of the smallest items in the cutlery drawer, and also the easiest to lose. They have no tines, so cannot stab even a pea. They can't cut anything economically, neatly, or with any kind of precision. What they can do is provide. A teaspoon is a giver. It gives and gives and gives. Just the right amount of whatever you need. Here comes the emotional support airplane you ordered. Open up. You may look in your soul cutlery drawer one day and notice your teaspoon supply is getting low. It may cause you to wonder, why do people need teaspoons so much? Why are they constantly disappearing? There are many reasons. The world seems harsher and people meaner. We have been made to think that the individual is more important than the whole, that society is made of one-on-ones and not one-to-manys. Teaspoons. Teaspoons are the key. They are powerful conduits for the relationships between individuals to connect them. Teaspoons are community builders, always there, always available. Take one. No, you really do not have to bring it back. You must never place more value on the continued ownership of a teaspoon than the potential comfort it can bring another person. Do not ask why they need it. Just leave your drawer open. Be open. If they want to tell you, they will tell you. Sit, listen, stir and be. The teaspoon economy will be strong again. We can rebuild it. All drawers will fill once more if we all just stop hoarding our teaspoons. The teaspoon, of course, is a metaphor. Or a riddle, you decide. Your entire enterprise, that of being human, is not under threat from the loss of teaspoons. There's no operating budget in the business of being human, so how can it cost you anything? It costs you nothing. It gains you everything. What is it that kid in the Matrix says? There is no spoon, it is not the spoon that bends, it is only yourself. I mean, he was talking about existing in the unreal world of the Matrix because the spoon literally did not exist. But hey, the teaspoons I'm talking about here don't exist either. They're not actual teaspoons. But the bending thing, that is a human thing. A thing humans are capable of. We create our own realities of who we can be. It would be easy to think of ourselves as being unbendable and forcing the things around us to twist and shapeshift to our will. There can be no change externally without us bending internally, to give of our spoons freely and easily. Teaspoons are what we give each other, what we owe to each other, if you like. Yes, it's a clumsy, trying too hard metaphor, to be sure, and I apologise for all the teaspoon talk, but I also don't. To give without expecting anything in return, this is what it is to bend against the nature of us, to fight the instinct to climb higher while pushing the ladder away for someone else, to rally against the hoarding of the teaspoons, because who knows when you may need one yourself. Bend, human. It costs you nothing. Open your drawer, and when someone reaches in, allow them to feel the comfort of that spoon and not the cutting blade of a hate or resentment knife. We are all capable of giving and receiving teaspoons, of sharing the tea even, in the global teaspoon economy. Compassion, empathy, love, understanding, and all those gooey words that speak to the better sides of our natures. Stir them in and may the teaspoons flow freely. You will, over the course of your life, lose a lot of teaspoons. This is as natural as skin sloughing off in your sleep or losing hair in the sink. You will lose teaspoons for all your life. And again, I repeat, it will cost you nothing. Friend, may your drawer always be open. And there you have it, today's episode. I hope it stirred you in some way. Get it? Because it's teaspoons. Forget it. What I really hope is that you'll come back next week. These missives are designed to inspire creative folk to get out there and make something of their own. If you enjoyed what you heard, follow the podcast so that you never miss an episode, and sign up to read my writing at janinemcrae.substack.com. But for now, I'll leave you with this. Love what you love, and I'll see you out there making stuff.